Yo, so no face movements. February 2nd, 2013. I'm bringing warnings and watches on Earth and space weather for February 2nd, 2013 to February the 5th, 2013. Let's hop into space weather. I got warnings and watches. Alright, folks, for February 14th, 15th, and 16th for asteroid 2012 DA14. Keep in tune to my channel or Mystique channel for all the latest updates. Alright, I got warnings and watches for sunspots. We got see the M-class solar flare possible for 1662, see the M-class solar flare possible for 1663, and see the X-class solar flare for 1665. And the other day it erupted as an M-class solar flare. It's going to arrive towards Earth on the 5th or 6th, so I got warnings for volcanoes, superstorms and storms, geomagnetic storms, and also I got warnings for earthquakes, folks. Alright, now as you know, we haven't seen a lot of solar flare eruption on this side of the sun, but we've been seeing a lot on the other side of the sun. It's from the central galactic plane alignment. Alright, it's pulling all the matter, or even if we have a solar flare like that filament the other day we're about to get into, we got sucked back into the sun. Alright, but as we see Mercury spinning out of control, it's coming from the sun, maybe from its gravitational pull, we're going to start seeing small solar flares. Alright, and Earth is also about to enter the central galactic plane view in front of the sun within the next month or two, so keep in tune for that. Alright, as I start off, like I was talking about the filament from the other day, eruption magnetic filament. As expected, unstable filament of magnesium curling over the sun's northeastern limb erupted yesterday. NASA's Solar Dynamic Observatory recorded the blast at approximately 05:15 Universal Time on January the 31st. Alright, despite the obvious energy of the blast, very little of the filament actually flew into the space. The sun gravity pulled most of the debris back to the stellar surface, so this eruption was primarily photogenic and not geo-effective. Alright, I got warnings and watches for these two coronal holes. Alright, solar winds flowing from these coronal holes should reach Earth between February 4th and 6th, so warnings and watches on top of the M-class solar flare for volcano, earthquakes, and storms. Alright, now let's move on. Now I just showed you the sunspots. This is the X-class, eye of X-ray. Alright, you see the middle of this? See how bright that is? That's X-class solar flares. Alright, well, it could produce X-class solar flares. 1665, like I said, is potent, and coming around the sun are a few more spots that's going to be able to produce X-class solar flares. Alright, now let's get into the breaking news. As you can see here, Mercury is out of control. Alright, we did a whole video. The video link's going to be at the bottom. Alright, and as I'm observing all the planets, it's starting to see that Venus is picking up. Alright, folks, hopefully nothing's out of control about Venus, but we're about to see a lot of stuff, alright, as the months go on, folks, so be prepared. Alright, you see this little spectral light from, this is 1665 when it erupts. You're about to see it right now. Alright, they covered that up. It was red, and it's going to hit Earth on the 5th or 6th. Alright, as we move over, let's keep in tune. They keep it red still over here. Alright, so warnings and watches, and on top of the coronal holes. Alright, let's get into HARP. HARP ain't active, but all of its energy is still in the Earth's atmosphere and Earth underneath our foot. Alright, and also on top of it, we have non-stop solar flares, solar winds hitting the Earth. So they don't even need to activate HARP right now for a lot of storms and a lot of particles that are charged still coming into Earth. As you can see here, where the HARP ring was at full force, alright, it's active right now. Well, it's not HARP, but a lot of electrons are over there. So I got warnings and watches for Queensland, Australia, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Solomon Islands, Fiji, alright, the whole Pacific Basin. Alright, let's move down. You can see right here, I got warnings and watches for volcano activity and earthquake watches and storm watches for Papua New Guinea. Alright, spread out to Indonesia, to the tips of Australia. Alright, almost touching. Well, no. Alright, over here we're all right. Alright, now let's move on. You can see the intensity of this going all the way from India Alright, through China, South Korea, North Korea, Japan. Alright, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea. Alright, and Australia. So warnings for this whole area for the next 24/72 hours, folks. So if you live in Australia, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, India, China, South Korea, North Korea, Japan, south of Japan, expect a severe earthquake, volcanoes eruptions, and severe storms. Alright, let's move on. Alright, for asteroid near-Earth objects, 2012 DA-14 is coming around February 14th to February the 16th. Alright, let's go to large supervolcanoes and supervolcano activity. Today, February 2nd, 2013, North America, state of California, Long Valley Cauldron. Alright, let's move up. Now, I got warnings and watches for red alerts still. Every single time you see this 00. Alright, 1/00/2013. 00 ain't a date. That's Yellowstone Cauldron and Island Park Cauldron. Warnings and watches for that. Flingland that hit Madagascar. It is a cyclone down. It's keep downgrading. It's going to get pulled apart. We've seen a volcano eruption in Indonesia on the 31st. Alright, folks, like I said, I got warnings and watches out there. Alright, let's get to 4.0 and volcano earthquakes. Alright, we had a 4.5 Japan. We had a 3.1 Turkey on top of volcano. 4.4 United States of Alaska. We had a 2.3 California. A 2.1 Nevada. A 2.5 Turkey on top of volcano. Alright, we had a 6.7, 6.7, 6.7 on top of volcano in the Solomon Islands. A 5.7 Solomon Islands. Those are big earthquakes, folks. Like I said the other day, that's where all that energy is. That's why I got those warnings and watches. 4.9 Solomon Island. 4.9 Solomon Island. 2.7 Turkey on top of volcano. 4.5 Guam. 4.4 Guam. 2.3 United States Alaska on top of volcano. 4.2 Russia. 2.0 Turkey on top of volcano. 5.0 Solomon Island. 5.0 Solomon Island. 5.1 Indonesia. 5.1 Indonesia. Alright, a 4.9 Pacific Ocean Middle, Solomon Island, where all that energy is at. 4.9 Solomon Islands, both of them on top of volcano. 2.2 United States California on top of volcano. 4.4 Chile. Alright, 2.7 Alaska, 2.7 Alaska, 5.1 Taiwan on top of volcano. 4.9 Solomon Island on top of volcano. 5.1 Taiwan on top of volcano. 5.2 Solomon Islands on top of volcano. 4.3 Chile. 4.4 Kakistan. 5.8 Solomon Island. 5.6 Solomon Island. 2.4 United States Alaska. Alright, 2.3 Alaska. And I'm trying to, 2.8 right there, Oklahoma. Alright. And we just have been having a lot of crazy stuff, folks, from flash floods to large landslides. Now, what's crazy, I'm going to have them at the bottom. Alright. Let's get into this. The Australian plate down here is breaking up, folks. Alright. It's from the gravitational pull from the central galactic plane. So the our molten core is pulling up. So we're seeing a lot of surface heat, right? But in the past few days, we're seeing a lot of crazy stuff from that explosion in Mexico that came from the basement. Fire in Washington, D.C. subway tunnels. Gas leakage in the pipes and stuff. That means that something's happening underneath our Earth's crust, folks. So be prepared for major earthquakes. Like I said, Mercury's spinning out of control. Alright, I got warnings and watches for the entire Pacific Basin. Alright, for moderate to major earthquake. I don't have to get into specific. The whole entire Pacific Basin, all volcanoes in the world are on red alert. All earthquakes could be major in the Pacific Basin. Alright, moderate to major earthquakes all through Europe. Alright, moderate to severe earthquakes in the Middle East. Moderate to major earthquakes in Greenland, Iceland. Moderate to major earthquakes, alright, in North America, in Alaska, on the west coast of Canada, on the west coast of the United States of America. We got a few more days for the 80% chance major earthquake between San Francisco and Los Angeles. All right, moderate to severe earthquakes for the New Madrid fault line and the Appalachian fault lines. All right, folks, that's in Western New York and Western PA. Warnings and watches for major earthquakes and volcano activity for Central America and South America. All right, let's move into North American world weather.